If you could have your own McDonald's meal, what would be the key ingredient?
Halal.
Fries in it.
You're kidding. Lamb chops.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Oh my gosh, guys.
I hate you.
Listeners.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
If you guys don't know why we're laughing, this is our third time recording the podcast.
But my answer was original.
Ugh.
Amber just hijacked Frost's answer.
There's no audio proof for that. So I came up with the halal idea.
I'm going to explain exactly what happened here because the listeners have no idea what's going on. This is our third time recording the intro. We're having technical mishaps over here. Or Shamir is trolling us. But what happened is we've asked this question twice before, and I told them, listen, we're not just going to have the same conversation or try to remember what we said. Let's pick something new. The question was, what would be your McDonald's meal key ingredient if you had one? Such as Travis Scott or like J Balvin and these guys have had, or Bad Bunny, have had their McDonald's meals. Originally, we said mine was garlic chili, Amber's was sweet and spicy, Shamir's was no pickles. On the second round, I made a comment in the first one that was like, yo, why don't we do something halal? Because then it would get mad sales.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, no, that didn't happen.
And then Amber was like, oh, but you didn't come up with that the first time. And now she goes, right before we record this third version, she goes, oh, okay, I have a really good one. And then she says hello. Are we getting the Amber alert?
Dude, we're getting an Amber alert.
It's a tornado warning.
Amber.
What is going on?
Yo.
I'm just alerting y'all out here. Except this is an emergency alert. There's no children involved. So it's not an Amber alert.
No, it's a tornado warning.
Yeah, so it's not an Amber alert.
Guys,
Yeah.
if we don't make it, you know what happened. Tornado.
This is crazy.
Yeah, hopefully
Everything
the power
that's
doesn't
going
go
on.
out while we record and lose all the audio again.
We're going to lose the
That's-
audio.
That's not funny. Don't joke about that. Okay. Anyways,
I forgot my answer. What
sorry
did I-
for such a confusing
Yeah, what did you just
intro.
say right now?
Yeah. Oh, I said fries in my burger.
Oh, that's a
That
good
is a good
one.
one.
Because I like putting
It's
fries.
not as good as mine this time around, but it's a good one.
So anytime people come and they ask for the Shimmer special,
Yeah.
they get fries in the burger.
Fries in the
Yeah.
burger. And
That's-
apparently there's like places that do that. Like that's a specialty.
Mhm.
I don't know which places, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, I know people do that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so my idea was halal
No, it's mine.
because I think that a bunch of
No,
Muslims.
hold on. Let me explain why I said halal, right?
Stop it.
I think it would really attract a strong Muslim audience, and then McDonald's would
a
be
kosher
like,
audience.
like, wow, like we should make this permanent, and then they would then
All their
expand
meat's
their
halal.
Muslim audience.
If you didn't know
That's
what
my idea.
Amber's theft voice
It's
sounds
all
like, it's that.
Amber's idea.
Yeah. Thank you, Shamir.
It's all Amber's idea.
Well, okay, fine. I'll support a woman in need.
Oh.
Shout out to baby. No. And I'll add on to your idea of a halal menu, Amber.
Yeah.
And I went with lamb chops.
I don't
with,
like
with
that.
the chops?
I would never get lamb chops
What do you
from
mean with the
McDonald's.
chops?
Doesn't have bone in them?
Yeah.
Well, remember the McRib? People
Yeah.
used to really like the McRib.
Really?
I don't know what it is or if it's an actual rib.
Yo, I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's like loud thundering happening.
This
so-
tornado is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's just Amber's stomach after finally being able to poop. That's not the thunder.
Too soon, bro.
finally digesting.
Yeah, on second thought, I don't know about lamb chops at McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea.
But if the price is right, if you're getting like
Yo,
if you're
would,
paying like
would
20
they be in the
bucks,
shape of an M? Like the
Oh
McDonald's?
my gosh.
M on the bone. If they were like $20,
Yeah.
then they can stay on the menu. And I don't care.
Yeah.
People if they go to McDonald's and want to pay $20, that's fine. But they have to be the real thing.
Lamb chops are like either you have to have them really good or it's just not worth having them at all.
They're definitely on no dollar menu whatsoever.
Yeah, no. The reason why we should be asking this is because Sweetie's meal is coming out on McDonald's on August 9th. Go ahead and get in line to get it because I won't be able to.
And that's very cute if this was your podcast and if you want to give out free sponsorships. But Strange Flavors is not sponsoring Sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or McDonald's.
But
Or
I want the
McDonald's.
reason why is I'm not going to be here to try it when it comes out. So please eat it on my behalf. I'm sad.
It depends what it is.
I don't know, but I trust Sweetie because she has all these concoctions.
What if it has bacon in it?
Well, then I'll remove
Ooh.
bacon.
Yeah, but then
You
it's
can
not the
have-
Sweetie meal,
it's not
Amber.
the Sweetie meal.
Shamir is
That's not what Sweetie would do.
What were you gonna say about me?
Shamir is out here only removing things to make his burger special.
No, I added fries.
Well,
Originally, he removed pickles, but then he added the fries.
So is this no pickles and fries? No pickles,
Yes.
add fries?
Yes.
He made it. He switched up his marketing, which was smart because without the pickles, a lot of people, you wouldn't make as much money.
I feel like my good sis wouldn't do that because she and I have nice, good taste buds.
But what
I
about
trust her
McDonald's?
taste
You
buds.
weren't a McDonald's supporter before Sweetie.
Yeah, but you know what I do like? And I said this in the
Are we
first
gonna
person.
die?
I know, right?
Yeah.
This thunder is crazy. You can hear it through the headphones.
What I originally said was sweet and spicy sauce because I think that if there was a chicken patty that was sweet and spicy with like the sauce on it, whatever, it'd be a fire burger. But I trust Sweetie. Oh my God, it's about to be a really loud thunder.
It's in my.
I
Yeah.
told you.
Ooh.
Well, this is probably really cozy to listeners because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm like studying or doing work and I put on that lo-fi
It has the rain
station
in the background.
that has the rain and
Yeah.
the thunderstorms.
If you're quiet
So
and
cozy.
alone, it's kind of cozy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it's serious. These
Well-
are not special effects, people.
No.
Like, I don't understand when people are like terrified of thunder
Oh
and stuff.
no. It's just intense.
Like, do you guys know people like that?
I met
I
you.
do.
Well, my mom,
Kids.
like
Oh yeah.
she literally will start screaming and duck for cover and like tells us all to get away from the windows. And it's just like
It's
Mom,
like a little jump scare, but it's not like terrified where I feel like my life's on the line, you know?
yeah.
Wow. This
Okay.
intro is a mess.
Yeah.
This intro is
Let me
a
introduce the
mess.
podcast.
We still didn't do that yet?
No, we didn't.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys for tuning into an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shamir.
I'm Mick Faras.
And I'm Scammer Amber.
Damn, this is
What?
the strangest and greatest podcast in the game. This is brought to you by Alif Theory. If you'd like to email us or send us your music, strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com.
That's not how that works.
I'm a scammer. I took your spot today.
Oh.
And I did your name change like you do because
Yeah.
I had your answer.
And hopefully we can do this intro without dying
Sorry.
by this thunder. You can get this dope Strange Flavors merch at strangeflavors.store. And if you'd like to support this podcast with a small monthly donation, you can help sustain future episodes and be part of Strange Flavors Town. Strange Flavors Town includes Bobber's Bagels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Airhuz Ices, Freehuz Falafels, Usum's Apples, and Shamil's Shawarmas.
Now I would like to give a special thank you to our Strange Flavors Town supporters
Yes.
who have carried us
Mm-hmm.
to this.
Figuratively and literally.
Wait, did
Well-
they do it literally?
That's not what literally means.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not literally, but financially,
Spiritually.
spiritually, figuratively, what other? No, not logically. What other way? Enthusiastically.
Yeah.
This thunder has some bass. Sorry, when you start talking. I'm sorry.
Hopefully we
A
should.
special shout out to them because today marks a happy/sad day.
Oh.
Instead of a happy
Huh.
meal, you get a sad meal.
Oh. I mean, I would say it's still a happy meal.
Well,
It's
What's-
like a half smile and then the other side is like a frown.
that's the the nut face from the emoji.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know that
Oh,
emoji?
Yeah.
The nut face.
You call that emoji the nut face? Hold on.
Am I the only one?
Hold on.
No, it's the nut face.
It's the nut face because it's a bit.
Oh my gosh.
No,
The power went out?
What?
The power went out.
No, wait, the lights
How
are
did the
still
power
on.
go out? What are you guys looking at?
The TV.
The power is still on, guys.
The lights
The lights. We still have the intro. The lights are still on.
shining in our face.
We're still talking. We can still hear
we can
ourselves.
see literally everything glowing and hear ourselves in the mics and the
I know.
headphones still.
I was like,
The only thing is the TV shut
I
off.
was like, no.
Why did the
podcast
TV
was not
shut
meant to
off?
be today.
Maybe the power did go off on that end. Maybe we were on a reserve or something.
Something
I don't know.
happened.
Maybe that line.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, the reason that we are a mess and letting this continue on is because today is the final episode of our unofficial season 2 Strange Flavors.
Yeah.
Yep. Season 2 was what, 2 years long? Season
Yeah.
1 was like a year and a half long.
Yeah.
So,
The first time we took a break, and these were all unofficial, so
Yeah.
that's why it was like, you know,
They're
we
like
didn't announce it before.
hiatuses more so.
Yeah, the first time we used to be in Amber's apartment
Mm-hmm.
recording it with the view of Baltimore City, and then you know, she was moving and everyone was going through like a certain transition in their
period.
lives, and so we were like, let's come back to this.
Mhm.
You were, I don't know if you remember, you were really sad.
I started crying.
You were crying.
Because the way, oh my God.
Oh, here comes the rain.
Oh.
I love this.
I know, but I don't know if like this lightning is right in my peripheral vision.
I see it too.
So I'm anticipating for the thunder to hit after the lightning. Anyways, that last time when we had taken a break, the way that we had worded it was it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 6 months. We don't know when we're revisiting it.
Mhm.
That's how I was told it, right? And in my head, I was like, oh my God, we might never come back to this.
You were like, this is all I have going for me creatively.
Yeah, because it was like I was graduating college. Like this was when I was in college, and it was like the one thing that I had every week where it was like something that I could put my energy into once a week. There was a time, place, and for it. So now after we moved back home, and now we finally got the studio set together, and everything's going great again. Here we are, taking another break.
back again.
Back at it again.
But guess what? After the last hiatus, we came back even stronger.
We came back
We
way
literally came back like a
stronger.
month later also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we came back
It was
not that
long.
long.
Well, also
later.
last time we were going on trips and like you said, transitions and stuff. So
Mhm.
we were like, it was very difficult for us to be weekly. And while we're on the road, going to a bunch of different places. So it was a much needed break. And we came back with new ideas and all that.
Pre-COVID, we were kind of just recording wherever, right?
Yeah. Like sometimes it would be in your house. Sometimes it'd be in Frost's basement.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be at people's places.
Yeah.
So
So now we finally have like a set studio so that we have after the hiatus to come back to.
Yeah. The whole reason is also, just so you guys know, we've been working on this album. I know that it's kind of like, from your perspective, like in the air, where is this thing?
yeah, we
What's-
announced it like December 31st.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it's like 7-8 months later.
That's true.
Yeah. And we haven't shown a whole lot from it. Like the patrons will obviously get more of a look into it, but we wanted to make sure that we can set it up properly behind the scenes as much as possible, because once it comes out and we do our rollout and everything, it needs to all be done in a certain way. Are you okay?
I just thought about my cat, and I really hope she's not outside. It's fine.
Do you want to go check on her?
She's a strong cat, and she knows.
She survived the last storm, didn't
yeah,
she?
and she know we have a place underneath the deck, which is like kind of like a house for her.
Okay, so she's not like swimming or
no,
anything.
no,
right now.
no. She be all right up until the intro is done. Then I'll go check on her.
She's gonna come back as like nuggets.
Oh.
Is that? I'm sorry, dude. I always for some reason make pet jokes, and I've always managed to make people cry.
My cat, like I don't even know if you're talking about nuggets.
Sorry.
I want to know how it turns into a nugget from a thunderstorm.
She gets
Like,
fried from
gets
the
fried.
Oh,
light.
cooked. Like a giant.
Well, guys, can we not talk about my cat?
Air
getting
fried.
cooked?
Air fried.
Oh my god.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Oh my God! It's literally like it looks like Wizard of Oz outside. You know when she gets sucked into the tornado,
Mhm.
and that's the warning that we got too. So this is great. Yeah, we're taking this little break here. Our goal was to have an episode every single week this year, and we did that.
Mhm.
Up until this point, which I'm really proud of and I'm really grateful for, because you guys allowed us to do that. You know, you kept tuning in, you kept supporting us, and we kept bringing on awesome guests, and we were able to do that all with your support.
And we did it through COVID too,
Right.
which I'll
Yeah.
give another pat on the back for, because regardless of our situation, we still made it on virtually, but nonetheless, we found, and that gave us a really cool opportunity as well of being able to get guests that we never thought we could.
Yeah. I also want to give a special shout out to Niyati and Hadia, who were behind the scenes with us throughout the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Just, taking notes, making sure to post on social media, and, helping to take care of those things behind the scenes. They've been in episodes before too. Them two, they were great behind the scenes. And then also Isan, who was helping out Major with producing the podcast. He was a great help and helped us with all of you guys supporting us to put together the set that you see today. So special shout out to everybody who is not a co-host here, who makes our jobs a lot easier and more fun.
And they still put in the work.
Shout out.
Yes.
And the reason that we want to continue doing this, and we will continue doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any idea when we're coming back?
For now, I think we have to see where we go with the album, and what the rollout plan looks for that, because this album, it's much different than the work we've been doing previously with Ronopono, just because it involves a lot, an upgrade on quality, production, and all that sort of stuff. So we're taking all the music, all the videos very seriously. We'll talk a little bit about what we have going on tomorrow, because we're, opening up the pockets a little more, a little deeper for to make all of this happen. And because we all work, other jobs and obviously have family and other things that we have to be responsible and take care of, this is, an extended effort to try to make it happen, because we want to, put a stamp on the cultural comedy that we've been producing that you guys enjoy, and really do it for everybody who has been supporting us for this long.
Yeah.
So we hope you guys don't mind, but we will continue producing other content along the way. You might see more Strange Flavors related content while
and it
we're
won't
on a break.
truly be that long.
Yeah.
So. It's just until we figure out
Mm-hmm.
when we can come back. And honestly, Amber is not going to be here for some time.
Yeah,
She's-
I'll be gone for a month.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Pakistan. I'm going to hold on, Kashmir.
Damn.
So you guys are so tired of me talking about it all the time. That's where I'm going.
So how long are you going?
I'm going for an entire 4 weeks exactly.
Excited, scared, nervous?
I am nervous, mixture with scared, and a small tinge of excitement, which isn't typically like me, for trips and stuff. But I have a lot of open wounds to assess in Pakistan. And so this trip will be me kind of emotionally healing myself, and I lost my grandmother. I haven't been there since. And I have no living grandparents. So I'm going back to a truly different experience than I've ever had before.
Your Pakistani experience is also very different than most people's, because you live in like the mountains, where you said you guys just literally like were able to hook up some sort of Wi-Fi. And
Yeah, it's the first time we've ever been able to hook up Wi-Fi. It's crazy because one of my homegirls called me the other day and was like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you to go to Pakistan. You're going to do like this shopping. You're going to eat the street food. Like you're going to be able to like, and all the things that she was listing, I was like, that's not my experience. I was like, and she's like, I'm so excited for this for you. And I was like, that doesn't excite me about Pakistan. The shopping doesn't excite me. The street food doesn't excite me. It's genuinely the environment, the people there that like love us, our neighbors, the amount of love they have for us, being able to walk down, open up a chicken coop, grab an egg, go for like, it's just such an organic, such a like grounding experience when I'm there. And I love that.
you like being a mountain girl,
Yeah.
village type vibe.
Yeah, I love it. It's very different to my experience here, and I like the fact that I can go there and live that life as not as a tourist in a different country, but as somebody who would be living there.
What are you going to do without all your meal prepping that you do and all your workouts and
I
all
think
that
it's
kind
going
of
to
stuff?
be even easier, my friend.
You think so?
Yeah, because
All organic?
all organic.
Legit organic?
Legit organic. And it's going to be like, okay, Dad, can you bring home 2 chickens from the market? He's going to bring home 2 chickens.
They're not going to be as big, Amber.
Are you going to slaughter them?
No. The market slaughters them and cleans them and brings them fresh, and you cook them that day.
Oh, wow.
And then, I have the eggs right there. The only thing I'm lacking on is a coffee. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Chai.
I'm not like, chai exists, and I enjoy chai as a like social delicacy, but not as a like means to my caffeine intake.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's going to be hard because
Yeah.
their caffeine intake is like half ours.
A fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to figure that out. But I think
Maybe
that
you can use it as a time to
withdraw.
to literally like the stuff we're on in America is not all great for us
Yeah.
and our bodies and,
and
our
Baksan, I
mental health.
detoxed from in Ramadan. I detoxed completely from like caffeine and didn't have it for the whole
Yeah.
month. But I mean, to be honest, this is the food that like my body was meant to consume. My ancestors consumed everything. And so genuinely without trying, I naturally slim out. I naturally have a more athletic type vibe. I'm constantly on my feet. I'm running up and down mountains all day to go visit somebody. I have to kind of like hike up a mountain and stuff. So I don't even have to try. It'll be embedded in my lifestyle to be doing what I do here.
Something that I've picked up on going to other places where it's not the same as we would have it in America or something is that you shouldn't overly plan. You should go there and try to see what they do as they live there because it works for them.
Yeah.
And change your routine, change your body, change everything because you have to, once you go there and you might pick up on a bunch of new things, you're like, wait, why have I been doing this way? Like, this is so much healthier. I remember some guy on Joe Rogan was talking about like how he tried giving up coffee for a while and like some crazy benefits he had as far as like his happiness and many other things that he was just like, I thought that I needed it for staying awake and getting through this, but turns out like when I'm happy I want to work on this in the first place. And you don't think about all of those other things and everything's so calculated here.
What's the point of trying to be like forcing yourself to live your lifestyle there? What's the point of going there?
It's disrespectful.
It is in a way. And it's also disrespectful to your experience. Not only them, but to yourself. Like, let yourself open up, feel a little bit uncomfortable with your environment and, go in and be willing to experience
And you
it all.
change your lifestyle here. You're like, oh, this is better there. Like, I should adopt this and put it over here.
This is oddly bright for a thunderstorm.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on outside. Maybe we're in like a dream world where like the house is moving and everything around it.
Oh, that branch just broke on that big tree.
In like the Wizard of Oz, how like the house gets sucked up
Mm-hmm.
and then she gets transported somewhere else. What if this podcast today, like we're going through like a time machine or something?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely feels a little like dreamy right now. Like very.
It's meant to be.
Yeah,
Like the final one.
for sure.
Shamir, what do you got going on? What do you do for the next month?
Next month, I'm going to be doing the same thing I've been doing the past couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
Grinding it
Streaming,
out on Twitch?
Twitch, TikToks, making videos,
What do you make of your Twitch experience so far? Is it proved to be something that like, you enjoy doing, it's beneficial? Is it hard work? What is it?
I'd say it's hard work for most people, but for me, it's pretty easy.
So you're streaming for how many hours?
Probably like 10 hours a week. So 5 hours one day. That's like max. And then 5 hours another day. So 2 days a week.
Your Twitch is genuinely so entertaining. If you haven't checked out Shamir's stream, like you need to do that because I had no experience with Twitch.
Yeah.
And the only reason I went on was obviously because I wanted to see what you were doing on there. And I was like, wait, this is so fun. The chat is so fun.
Yeah.
The vibes are immaculate. And I love all the games you play.
That's interesting.
It's like straight stream of entertainment live.
The best part about it is the community because you see the same people return and you see them engaging with each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's not just about, although Shamir is the face of it
Yeah.
and leading the efforts, the games, the conversations, it's beyond Shamir. And I think any strong community holds that sort of value.
For sure. And like, I think it's cool because like it, in terms of entertainment, like, I always want to be like entertaining and stuff like that. And how do I be entertaining? Whether it's different art forms, music, whatever it may be. Twitch is probably the most like, how do I say it? It's the deepest you can get in a live experience, right? You have to be
Yeah.
entertaining in a live experience. And like, that truly shows how entertaining you can be in a live experience. If you can capture an audience in a long format, a couple hours, it can't get better than that. It's kind of like a live comedy, right? You can do sketches, you can edit the crap out of that and make it funny, or you can be funny like live and see how your jokes perform and all that stuff. In terms of how your music lands and all that stuff. You can see that live and see how
Mhm.
people react to things live. So it's really
It's like a YouTube video, but you can interact with the creator while it's happening.
yeah, for sure.
How
And
long?
That's fun.
How long do you think this can go on for? Like, I'm thinking of Clubhouse, for example.
Yeah,
And remember, like, people were so hyped about Clubhouse and you're like, oh my God, this
Mhm.
is the thing.
yeah,
And then now, like, you don't even hear about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But with Twitch and streaming and stuff like that, do you think, I mean, as far as sustainability and all that?
Yeah, I think people were saying the same thing about Twitch like a few years ago. You know, Drake went on with Ninja and stuff like that. It blew up a little bit. It kind of died down. COVID, it really blew up. And then I do kind of see it die down a little bit, but I think that's in the short term. I think it'll automatically like go up again. I think it has its waves and there's more creators doing more unique things. In terms of like a creator standpoint, it's infinitely helped me like financially too. Like it's crazy. I never thought it would, and I never went in it for financial reasons. But it's allowed me to, you know, fund my videos, fund like other things that I have, and it's all because of the community. Like people would gift.
Mhm.
Like gifting is very
Encouraged.
encouraged there, which is crazy. I've never seen that from any platform.
Right.
And now you see every platform, Instagram having like live gifting, TikTok
Yeah.
TikTok has live gifting and all that stuff. That's really dope that all these platforms are now creator friendly. And I think Twitch was one of the first to like do that.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome in that aspect too. But I also say like Twitch, it's always like AIM kind of. I don't know if you guys like used AIM or MSN Messenger,
Mhm.
but it kind of has that vibe when you're chatting in someone's thing. It's like, oh, you're just chatting like with these bunch of people. And
Right.
there's like something in front. So
Yeah.
it's been fun. I just don't know how long it'll last. But I still enjoy it, and it's a way for me to record my content. So like I can make TikToks out of it. So people do it to like, you know, people stream just so they can like have their games and have their community. But I see it as a way of how can I record content? Because, you know, I used to vlog and do that stuff. This is just vlogging, but like online, and I get to edit and cut it up.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do it for quite a while. We'll see how it goes. The scheduling and all that stuff. I'm going to try to keep it, but it's been fun, and it's really changed the way I look at how to make content.
That's dope. I think when people talk about certain apps and what's the most fun one to use, what's the most like successful one, we are always looking at like how many people are on it and not necessarily like how people are benefiting off of it. And like, for example, Facebook, I know that there's like streamers on Facebook and there's people that have like Facebook shows that we don't even hear about, but they are either being supported insanely financially, or like they have a huge audience that like, you know, is on a global level that like, you know, might not just be relevant to America. But yeah, like it's crazy that it just depends on how you use that platform. And like for you have this consistent schedule. People always know to tune in and they feel like they can come to something where, you know, they can always tune in.
Yeah. I think like also, I mean, I knew I was always like good in front of a stage and all that stuff, but this was like to see how good I am. And I think like I look at other people, and I'm not trying to like say that I'm better than them or anything. I just have been doing this for a while, like not on streaming, but like, you know, whether it be on stage, whenever we perform, like I always enjoyed that live performance.
You have more
aspect.
confidence
Yeah.
being by yourself and
Yeah.
being able to hold a show 4 or 5 hours.
And then not even that, like I remember people's names, like when people come back, I remember who they are as people just naturally. And I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Like, you know, I remember what they're doing for the job.
Profile built with the name.
Exactly. And like I remember that quickly, and I see their name and everything. So I think I'm really good at that. A lot of people can't remember that stuff like that. So for me, it's been awesome to see. And then I see them like, you know, they check out my other videos, they check out my music. It's just all in all, it's kind of like Instagram Live, connecting with your audience, but in a more fun way, you know?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Keep killing it.
What
you're
about
doing,
you?
You're doing good.
Thank you.
Good
Yeah.
things. Stream Youth.
Anything you want to share?
Stream Youth.
I'll be in the same lab that I've been in for many years, which is my basement, where everything gets done. Working on, you know, this album and just everything related to our brand going forward. I've been looking a lot. We were having a conversation the other day, Shamir and I, over dinner about, you know, just bringing our worlds together. And for me, that's the things that I do for other people. So like my clients, I've helped a lot of, you know, companies and brands and things like that behind the scenes. And I always think like, I want to be doing this for us too, as in everything that we're creating and be able to elevate ourselves that much. And it all comes down to like the resources and, you know, what kind of a system you can create around what your brand represents and what people can expect. And so I want to apply a lot of what I've been doing for my clients and all of that to us, and really develop, you know, especially with this album, use this as kind of a project to say that all the art direction, writing, you know, editing, overall just sort of production quality is something that was done in-house.
Yeah, like we're a production house. We've done
Yeah.
all this stuff that companies pay a lot for.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're all doing it ourselves at such a young age.
Right. And so if someone wants to, you know, pay me to make their logos and do all their brand design that, you know, ends up making them, or they end up using for all these sort of project rollouts and, you know, product drops and all of that kind of stuff, I think to apply that to our own album and all those things and really develop, I think this is like the strongest concept that has ever been developed as far as things that like we've done through our brand. And I'm learning that, you know, that's the sacrifice is the time, because we live in an age now where things are just like, you feel like, oh, just drop the thing and like, you know, just keep dropping. And that's a lot of what people are encouraging. And I get it. It makes sense, right? You get practice out of it. You get to see what people say, and you get the instant feedback, instant gratification. You get to move on to the next thing. And it's a numbers game. But, you know, I also follow a lot of artists and certain projects that really took their time with something, and it becomes a moment in history or in time that it was just like, this happened this way. Because it encapsulated everything that was going on, you know, in pursuit of creating this certain project. So, although I like the motivation behind just do it and all these other sort of slogans, I think take your time is one that we don't hear at all. You know, you don't hear a company say something like take your time, be comfortable, you know, because they're all like, no, just do it, you know, and I get that because it's trying to push people.
Right.
But if you've already crossed that, if you're already doing it, if you're already putting in all these hours, I think do it the right way.
Yeah. I mean, like, especially for me, right? Like in the beginning, I was definitely like putting out a lot, learning. And then there comes a certain point where you know what you're doing. And when you know what you're doing, you become more particular and you're like, okay, this needs to be perfect. And like, you're never going to get perfect, right? But you know, like, okay, I want it out this way. And once you're at that point, then you understand, like, you don't always have to just do it and you don't always have to put it out.
Yeah.
You just,
I think overthinking is part of it.
Yeah.
That like, you know, I don't want to fall into like a, with all due respect, Frank Ocean sort of trap where it's just like, we don't, or Kendrick Lamar, where we're like, we don't even hear for years. And it's just like, is there still being content produced or something? But I think exploring and, you know, waiting for that thing to hit sometimes is important. Give yourself the room, get away from a certain space, just to come back to it, but complete the project. As long as you're always kind of like focused on that. And I think that what you guys can expect is to start seeing the results very soon. And I want to say that, you know, keep up with us. Continue to follow us if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't followed us on all our platforms, us individually, but also Ronopono and Strange Flavors everywhere that we exist. Make sure to do so. We will, you know, be updating everything what we're doing in the process. And if anybody wants to support in ways beyond following and all of that, we'll make sure to put links so that, for example, if you want to, you know, support this project specifically that we've been working on, you can do so, and all of the funds for that will go into this, because everything that we've been,
and they can see it. That's the one. That's the one really cool thing about people who support us, that they can see exactly where our money goes in.
Right.
They see, oh, you upgraded your studio. Oh, you upped your video, your music video game, whatever. Like, they will be able to literally see it.
Yeah.
So if you want to see where your money goes, you can actually see it being put to good use.
I think one of the inspirations is someone like Lil Dicky, who I remember he did a Kickstarter
for his tour.
for his tour, but then it was also his album, right?
Yeah.
To get that album done. And it was literally funded by the fans to make sure that he gets the studio time and this and that. And what ended up happening was he got that album out. He got all these awesome, big name features on there. He became a real artist in the space, got an XXL feature, when he was one of the new artists, the freshman class. And then now is going on to do much bigger things like his show Dave, which is incredible and really goes into the process of what it means to be that sort of artist. And I think nowadays, a lot of us are living this sort of reality of like being able to fund ourselves with our communities that believe in us. And, just like we were talking about earlier, all of these projects we're doing are much bigger than us. That's why we invite people onto this podcast to share, what they can onto our platform, because we can have these conversations and stuff. And it means a lot that like you guys are able to support that. And so, continuing on with our other projects, if we need to get that boost to keep going, we are always super, super grateful for everything you've done for us already, but, we'll continue to do for us as this thing comes out.
Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and teleport to New York.
Okay. What she's talking about is what I hinted at earlier, which is a collaboration that is coming up that we will be going to New York for. You've probably seen our stranger today all over your TikTok making chai, Pakistani delicacies, and more chai at his very own New York cafes. We've got a big collaboration coming up with him, so we're actually on our way to go meet him and work on our upcoming project tomorrow. So with that, everyone, please give it up for Saud, aka Chai Guy.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Dude, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. Like,
Dude,
your stamina is insane.
Crazy.
I think like when people because I complain about working a lot like on TikTok, especially on my lives and stuff. So I think people like, oh, this guy's just like complaining about it. But like, dude,
no, that's no joke.
Yeah, if you're here and you see it, it's like there's no stopping, like 24/7.
Well, since we've been here, you came to see us at our house, which was like 40 minutes away from you.
Yep.
That night, you had to get up early that morning. You helped us do the whole video and everything
He
like
went
that.
hiking that
Hiking
day
that same
too.
day.
Yep.
And then stayed up till, what time did we leave?
Like 6
6 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was-
6 in the morning.
We started shooting when it was like pitch black outside, and we got done when it was literally like sunrise.
Fudger time, yeah.
Yeah,
It was, and now we're here doing a podcast. So, no,
Alhamdulillah.
seriously, thank you so much for
Alhamdulillah.
making the time. Like, you are such a kind soul.
Dude, thank you guys for coming through. I mean, you guys didn't like just come from a 20-minute drive. Y'all drove far away. So, anything I can do to make it happen for y'all.
No, of
I'll
course.
do it.
We're
Yeah.
used to this, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You said you said your anxiety is high when the restaurant is running and all of that.
Yeah.
Right now, currently, we're doing a
It's in-
podcast for the
it's
first
in full
time.
swing.
Dude, it's
In
a
the
full
thing.
podcast while the cafe's up and running. I've never, honestly, I don't think that's ever been done. You know what I mean? I think this is probably one of the first times a podcast has been done while there's an actual scene going around. Like there's, you know what I mean?
Maybe it's been done before.
There's a bunch of
but
podcasts out there. So
We'll consider
Yeah.
a live audience.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is
At,
the
least,
first-
at least in the Desi community, we're the first
Oh,
ones
yeah,
to do
for
it.
sure.
You know what
But
I
you're
mean?
gonna be okay when people are coming in and stuff. You're like,
Dude, listen.
Check it in the back.
God has
Your
my
brother-
back. Us what's gonna kill it. He's good, bro.
yeah.
It seems like he's
awesome.
holding the shop down.
Yeah.
What keeps your stamina going? Like you're going back and forth between two shops, and then you're always, it seems like, delivering food, picking up equipment, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, is it always like this, high energy?
So, I mean, you have to match the energy that you're given.
Yeah.
You see right now it's packed.
Yeah.
And when I first came in, I jumped in, trying to help in the kitchen. I got called out to Lake George. Like, hey, we're missing this stuff. Like, there's no one else to do it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you just can't like find pity on yourself and be like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just a human. No, dude, God gave you these blessings. You got to act upon them. You know what I mean?
It's pretty sick. Like, I was just saying, I was like, there, you got like your staff back there, and I'm just like this 25-year-old kid just going back there and being like, oh, yo, this chef's here. Like,
There's an
that's
older
gotta
chef.
be. Does that ever hit you? Like, man, this is crazy. Like, I really have these shops here, and I'm just a. Do you feel like you're still so young?
Dude, honestly, I feel old. I think my mentality was so mature for my age at a very young age that it's just never been a thing where I consider myself a kid. I think that especially the immigrant lifestyle, like coming here, having the struggle, you have to struggle at a very young age. We're exposed to a lot of mature things at a very young age, and I think that for me, like teenage years, when I had to be like, okay, that's how life works.
Yeah.
that mentality kind of went away where I started, finding pity on myself because I'm a young kid. And again, like coming in, like, yeah, I'm the youngest. I'm actually the youngest of my staff. So all my staff is also young. And I think this...
Your little brother.
Yeah, my little brother also, he's younger than me, of course. And I think Emery was one of our baristas here. She's like a year younger than me, but everyone else is like borderline 30 or like getting there.
Does that have an impact on you? Like, do you feel that? Like,
No, dude. I think our generation is just like a little bit. They're way different than I guess millennials. I guess.
Why?
Because like, they still have that like youth in them, even at a very like. When you think
on a technical level, yes.
Yeah, dude. No, but like 30, some people were like, you got to have like something figured out, like, you know what I mean? Like the whole like.
Okay, you're saying like they're
a little like if you talk to them, you can't tell if they're 30 or going 30 or blah blah blah. You talk to them,
more
you
mature,
think,
basically. You're
bro,
saying
they seem like they're 21. You know what I mean? They're just kids. But then I asked them like I mean, of course I asked them like, how old are you? And they're like, oh, like 27. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like.
Hold on. Why are you making 27 sound
No,
old?
no,
Hold on.
no.
Relax.
27's not bad.
First of all, you're making it sound like that's really old.
That's not.
But you're not far off from that.
Dude, I'm not far off from that. And alhamdulillah, like
You're 2 years shy.
hey, listen, I'm looking forward to it, but honestly, like it's not about like something wrong with it. You just look at a person, you're vibing with them at a very like.
You just call me a millennial?
No,
I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just
Isn't
kidding.
that what we are?
Yeah, I think so.
No, we're cuss.
I'm borderline Gen Z, so
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay, cool.
but-
I've never thought, nobody's ever referred to us as millennials before. Sorry, go
Oh
ahead.
no, I didn't refer you all as millennials.
No.
We're
I
the
was saying
same
by
age, bro.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm saying we're like borderline Gen Z.
Yeah.
I think the cutoff is like 95.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah.
but
there's a lot of these Jai guys out there that also have this handsome thing to them. What's with that? With
yeah.
Jai
Where does that
people?
come from? Is it
You
a
know the
genetic
Chai-
thing?
Remember the Chai
bro,
Walla?
listen, I thought I was the only one. No, I'm just kidding. No, dude.
You know the
this shit-
Chai Walla, right?
Yeah,
Like
the
that
OG,
Yeah.
the OG.
So how do we know that this Alif Cafe is still going to be operating? You're not going to run off into some modeling career.
Oh, because I've did my modeling career.
That's it.
I did the backwards, bro. I did the backwards.
Okay.
You got to watch out for these Chai Wallas.
Dude,
Yeah.
I did the backwards thing. So I went to the modeling thing first, didn't really like the scene, and then I was like, all right, let's get serious. Let's do something for the community.
True.
But
There we go.
it's a lifestyle, man. I think that
Being handsome.
Being handsome is a lifestyle.
lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. You get up and you just look like this every day, No, dude, listen, you can't let those things get to your head half the times because, like, dude, Allah gave you looks, then that person has better intelligence. You know what I mean? Like, there's different things to different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
There's a certain privilege that comes with all of it.
yeah, and it's blessing. Alhamdulillah. Like, what am I gonna do with my looks, bro? I'm just
No,
making. You know what I mean?
hey! I saw you working the counter over there.
Yeah.
As soon as you as soon
He
as you
was
glare
charming
up,
the customers.
as soon as you glare up, they're like,
Oh,
oh,
I guess I'll order extra fries.
And
They
what
see
size
the light
is
blue
this?
eyes.
what chai is this? What chai is that?
Listen. That's just my charisma. That's all my talking skills. You know what I mean? But I didn't look like this, man. You look at my teenagers. Oh, this kid with a
You
unibrow.
look like Zayn Malik.
Listen, I
saw that.
had a Pablo Escobar mustache in 4th grade, and I used to get roasted on, like roasted,
Dang.
because like, dude, I'm still Desi, man. I look good, but I'm not. You know what I mean? And so like those Desi genetics kind of popped in at 4th grade, and they're like Pedro mustache over here, and I was like, dude,
That's
What's
Desi people
happening?
in general. Like so many Desi people, like they glow up.
yeah.
Like after experiencing all of that stuff where there's body hair coming in earlier than like most people,
Yeah.
and then they just don't know how to
Handle it.
but then also like hold themselves
Yeah.
in a confident way. And then as soon as a little beard comes in,
Yeah.
the girls start growing fixing the eyebrows and all
Dude,
that.
it's funny now that we can grow beards full length,
Yeah.
and
Well, I still can't.
and not be
some of us gifted individuals. No, like you could grow a beard full length, and I actually hated my beard. I thought the patchy way was to go. I think your beard is.
Wait,
I like
why?
your patchiness more than I like my beard. To be
Damn.
honest. And it's because I got made fun of because of the whole.
It's too much
mustache and
privilege. You
stuff.
can't be handsome
Too
and
much
have a
privilege,
full
yeah.
beard.
You
No,
can't have-
I get
you
it with the
can't have
light
it all.
eyes. That's too much.
Dude, I can't have it all.
There's a lot of Arthur fists right now listening to this podcast. Yo,
Yeah.
this guy better chill out. That's cool though because there is a lot of like these Jai guys out here, especially in social media and all of that. We see that, but I never saw one who has his own cafe in this way and is like really passionate about it.
Yeah.
I saw you first on TikTok when I think COVID started and
Yep.
everybody was kind of inside, and I was like, yo, this guy's at a shop just making chai, having the time of his life, and then
Yeah.
you come to find out that it's his shop,
Yeah.
and he's opening up another one.
At
and
first,
all
I
that.
thought, maybe he was an employee or
Yeah.
maybe he was making it at home. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is his own thing.
Yeah.
How does this happen, man? Like how do you go and get 2 cafes? I know there's a lot of work
Yo,
into it, but
listen, aside from the work, like there's nothing I could explain. Like I couldn't tell you how the hell it happened. It's like it's above me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Allah has a plan for you. That's all it is. And that's what I keep saying. Like this was not me. I couldn't have thought to drive around this area and see the sign, even to pursue the company selling it out or whatever.
yeah. Like seeing Alif Cafe in upstate New York is
Yeah.
still surreal.
It's not. It's
With
not.
the Pakistani flag hanging.
Yeah. No. Proudly, man.
Crazy, yeah.
You got to represent your roots.
Take us back though, like
Yeah, dude. When I first opened, so this is a story I'll explain to you.
Yeah.
I was in my junior year of college, and I was doing my marketing project. I think it was my second year of marketing, and I was doing a project that you have to write a 50-page analysis on a business that's already running, or you have to make your own business and like do the steps of finding demographics and analytics and all that stuff. And so from the jump, like this is before the space of Alif and Lake George got offered to me. This is before all that. It was just a project that they announced in the syllabus. So I was like, okay, all right, let me figure something out. Like, I really want to try to do a restaurant on this. You know what I mean? Because my parents own a restaurant. Like, I already was in the business. So,
So was that in America that they already had the
the
food business?
Yeah,
Okay.
My dad came through here back in 2002 and started working for halal meat stores. He worked in the back ends of restaurants, delivering produce and halal meat and all that. And then he was like, all right, but I can do this. Like, I mean, he was already a chef. But he was already a cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had
So
to,
you were always around that.
I was raised around it. Like my first time, I like also experiences from my grandmother. Back in Pakistan when I was 6, like I used to like everyone went to school. I didn't have school at the time, right? So me and my grandmother would sit on our sofa and like
Peel the
clean up-
tomatoes.
Yeah, peel tomatoes and aloo and all that
Yeah.
Were
stuff.
your rotis round back then?
Oh, stay around, bro. They stay around. They stay around to this day.
You got,
you were-
you got +1 on me then. Yeah. These rotis are not round.
Yeah, I heard I make better Kashmiri chai than you too.
Listen, I'll let you have it, but I don't be putting food coloring in mine.
Damn. She's roasting me about that. And that's not even true. Like you're just telling people now for
And-
no reason. Like
That's not
And
true.
it's like, how are you going to have an entire cafe
Yeah.
and be using tea bags for
Yo,
your chai?
Facts.
Oh
we
my.
also use like frozen samosas and everything.
Wow.
Don't do that to him. People are listening. Tell him the truth.
No. We make everything by hand. It's all natural. We don't use like artificial coloring and all that. And y'all
He said,
know.
I asked him about our video, and I was like, yo, you got any tea bags? And he's like, what did you say?
Yeah, and I was like,
He's like
some
blasphemous.
disrespect. Yeah, I was like,
Loose but the only. Yeah.
yeah. But going back to that, how we got
You
the
got
cafe.
into it with your grandmother. So you
Yeah,
early
so,
love there.
You already have that in you, and like it's all about business. So at the end of the day, like if you're a great cook, it doesn't mean you can run a place. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother life that you need to understand.
In
and
comes marketing.
Yeah, yes,
There you
exactly. So like the project that I was doing, alhamdulillah, like my parents got this offer that is now Alif. It was a retail store that wasn't doing too hot, so so we were on a strip of shops basically that are right across the lake, and they're all owned by this one big company and hotel. They're called Fort William Henry. Shout out to my landlords.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So they were. We've been in the community for a while. Like my dad's restaurant's been in the community, and it's a tight community in the winter. In the summer, it's busting, people all around, but in the winter, it's dead. So like you really get to know people. And we had someone come up to my dad. Hey man, we have a space if you want to look at it for we really want a South Asian restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah.
They wanted it.
Oh, yeah, they
Are
wanted-
they South Asian?
No. They were seeing that there was a lot of South Asian traffic buildup.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
so
really
they
awesome
came
of
to
them
you
to-
guys because you already had one present in that area.
Yeah, and we were the only ones at the time that still live. Like we live in Lake George. We don't just go there for the money in the summer. It's like our community. So
But
like.
the shops there run only through the summer months, right?
Yep, and there's like people that travel. So like, there's families that live in Florida, but they come here for the summer to work and then go back down. So like, again, that's not the residential area. They don't know. I mean, they know people, but they don't consider them as like neighbors. So it was a big deal to my parents. Like, hey, they came up to us, and my dad and my mom were like, hey, why don't you just join us for the meeting? And I went there, and that's when I knew, like, okay, like I could make this happen rather than my dad, because my dad was like confused. There's no hood system, there's no kitchen. It's a very small area, and it's meant for retail. It's like, you know, like you have like shelves and stuff for.
There was no
clothing.
like kitchen area in the back.
Yeah, nothing.
And
And
they
so-
don't even let you have a like hood
Yeah,
full.
still to this day
system.
we don't have one. We like have to prep majority of our stuff in this restaurant now. So basically, what happened was that I went to the meeting. My parents were being asked a bunch of questions, like, what would you do? And da-da-da. I didn't, to be honest, I love my dad, by the way, but I didn't like his answers because I thought he could come up with something better. And I don't think he really wanted to do it anyway, so he really wasn't trying to.
He doesn't have the same mentality, the same upbringing experiences that you might.
I mean, it's not even that. I think
background.
if you're not like into interested in actually like going into a project, you just won't even care if you answer the
Sure.
right question. So like, I think that was his mental. He's like, it's not worth it. There's no way I can make it work like that. So
And you saw an opportunity.
yeah, and I was like, all right. So again, back then I was 20, you know, so I was junior in college. You know what I mean? You don't even know who you are at that time. So
Right.
we're all sitting like something like this, big table, all oval table, and I'm on the side with my parents' like documents and you know presentation or whatever. And so I'm like, can I say something? You know what I mean? And they're all like, all the big adult grown-ups in the room started laughing. They're like, oh yeah, go ahead. And so yeah, I just started giving them advice because there was some stuff that I didn't agree with, and they really liked it. They started writing down notes and jotting it down, and then like I think the manager came up to my dad and my parents like, why don't you let this kid handle it? Like why don't you let him get a shot? And my dad was like very skeptical, like, and he's like, okay, we can try. Yeah, we'll do it. So we went into a contract with them. Alif, I basically went to the drawing board and took that project very seriously because that now is happening. Now
Right.
it's not a school project no more. It's an actual
There's money
thing.
involved too.
You got a chip on your shoulder. You
Yeah,
prove
it's-
yourself a little bit.
Dude, there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of pressure. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like, I took it super seriously, and I went and did like literally like a 50-page paper on Alif before I
Wow.
started it. And
So you had like the whole business plan and everything of
Yeah.
what you would make it.
yeah,
But also, this is being put to use potentially. and-
100%.
and
Dude,
hopefully.
I think that thing was, I wouldn't say it made the cafe what it is today, but it definitely gave me a pedestal to make it professional.
Yeah.
Of
You know what I mean?
course.
A lot of business students, their end of the year senior project is creating a real business
Yeah.
and, you know, whatever. And not a lot of them come to fruition. So the fact that yours, it was not only were you able to write it and, you know, visualize it, but then an opportunity was able to sit in your lap right as soon as that happened.
Dude,
That's amazing.
Dude, it's really just acting upon it and not letting it go. Like I've had a lot of chances. Like when we first opened the cafe, alhamdulillah, we did phenomenal. Like our opening weekend was the biggest weekend until this summer.
Oh,
So our opening weekend that weekend was insane. We had lines outside the door, like going each way from the
And your
strip.
opening weekend was 4 years ago?
4 years ago, and we haven't topped those weekend numbers ever since. But yeah, alhamdulillah, like we've been fine.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't as crazy as that.
Were you
this
staffed for that?
I had a funny thing. I actually had all my best friends work for me.
Wow.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Were they excited too? Like, yo, Saud, you're...
Oh, dude, they loved it, man. I have one of my best friends still work with me, as I should say. But yeah, dude, it's all like, you know, they needed a summer gig, and I was in a position where I could hire. But yeah, dude, they all still visit, and they're all like part of the original crew.
Cool.
So they're like the ones that started it. You know what I mean? Like you know,
Yeah.
it's fun to see like your boys come together and like help you build
Yeah.
stuff and like.
Well, it's much more meaningful, you
Yeah.
know, instead of just having somebody work for a place that they
Yeah.
don't know. Seeing it, you know, develop and over the years, just like get better and better, and
Yeah.
you develop a bond with it yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
very
dude.
cool.
It's they had a blast the year they were here, and I wish they could have kept going with it because it would have been awesome having them.
Yeah.
But you know, they have their own thing going on, and you know, if I
Yeah.
could, you know, they come through all the time to support, man. That's
That's
one
so
thing
awesome.
too. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
What was the early sort of like struggles? Did you ever feel like there were days where you're just like, man, I have a whole shop, like I can't do this?
So the earliest struggle. So I was stupid my first year, and I tell this to everyone. Like I don't shy away from like my downfalls and stuff. So the biggest like the reason why I'm like how like I guess how I'm pacing around every single second and I'm busy every 2 seconds is because my first year I was exactly the opposite.
You were lazy.
Dude, I was lazy. And like 20-year-old, you get a little bit of change per week, and you think that you're like the man. You know what I mean? Like you got money. My business is successful. You know, but it's like in Lake George, it's a seasonal business. It's not all year round. So you got to understand that after October, you're making zero.
Yeah.
Because you all shut down. You know what I mean? So what happened was I had some. I actually saved up money for my fall semester going into that year, and I invested it into Alif. That's how I got like the down payments and all that stuff. But I knew I had to make it back up to pay for it. So coming around, I was being stupid and taking my friends out and like doing all these things where I'm like, yo, let me
Big baller Saud.
dude, big baller Saud. No,
Big
I'm
businessman.
dude, seriously. And you go and you do these things and you realize at the end of it, like, bro, where did all the money go?
Yeah.
And then you start owing people, and then you realize like, oh crap, I didn't pay my employees.
Yeah.
And I gotta figure out a way to pay them back. Like that's messed up. And then like college came around, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh God, like I have to pay for semester too. And so like, dude, it was hard. And that year, after that year ended, the first season of Lake George ended, my first year, I had that whole winter about 4 jobs. 4 jobs together.
Yeah.
Including running Alif?
Alif was closed for the season.
Oh, right.
So it was fall through like spring, it was closed.
Wow.
So I had to pay bills and stuff. You
So
know what I mean?
school and
School, paying back people that I couldn't afford to keep, but I did because I thought that having 5 people would be like a great thing for the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you had to do 4 jobs to pay your employees.
Dude,
back.
I backdated my bills and I paid them off. I think I got all my labor paid by end of fall, which they were supposed to get all their money at the end of summer. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm stupid, and again, like I told them like, and of course they were all understanding. It wasn't my best friends. It was on top the employees on top of that. Like I paid everyone that I could, and I'm like, oh, there's 2 people that need to get paid.
Yeah.
So they were pretty understanding. Shout out to them. But like, that fall I paid them off, and then I alhamdulillah had money for semester. But I paid semester at the end of the semester, deadline, like past the deadline type stuff. And I worked at funny enough, there's a hotel right behind us. I worked as their banquet server. So I used to go and like hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Hors d'oeuvres.
And that I worked at Brooks Brothers as a suit
guy.
and tailoring guy.
look, he's getting all this experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too, and then worked with my dad, and then just did like side gigs on the side.
So
and,
what did that like whole downfall like teach you, honestly?
dude?
And what do you implement to this day?
when you see yourself working for other people that much because of the mistake you made, you think I'm never going back, not doing this again. You know what I mean?
Why did you feel like you needed to go to school during all of this? Was it a parents' thing, or did you have
Dude,
a
of course
personal
it's a
interest?
parents thing. My personal thing, and my mom. Me and my mom argue about this all the time, but I don't think you need college. That's my personal thing. It depends on what you're doing, but I don't think you need college, especially at this economy. I think at this era, and my mom highly is an educated woman. She's a doctor in Pakistan and all that. Yeah, so she's the first doctor in the family, and being a woman herself, like she's made some barriers.
importance on it.
Dude. Yeah, and it's super important for her. So. When they came to America, they came nothing for not the restaurant, for not like their careers. They came for us. They came for our education. So
And here you are.
Oh yeah, alhamdulillah, dude. Like
You don't need college, mom.
Yeah, no, you need
A
college.
lot of people, I feel like, in your position would have been like, oh, like college is too much. I have this business going. Let me focus on this
It's a
and let this
wrap.
work. And it's done. And I've seen it happen so many times. And, that's their route. No hate. But the fact that you were able to make it through, were you able to graduate?
Dude, yeah. I ended up graduating, I think a semester late. But other than that, yeah, alhamdulillah. Like, the only thing
And
was...
you went to college full time during all of this.
Yeah, so I mean, alhamdulillah, like it's a seasonal business. So summers I was off anyways, and then the winters like it would be perfect. I'd just go back to school and live like a normal student life without having to worry about like having to work. My last year before I graduated, the year after my downfall year, as I say, was a very, very chill year for me. Like the winter was a breeze. Like I could have gone on vacation, but of course, at school. So like I would just have a regular go to school, chill, go home type lifestyle. that also got to me because like when you're bustling every single second in the summer, that's a lifestyle change. It's not
It
like a
is.
thing where you can just turn it off. You know what I mean?
We were saying like we kept making jokes this whole trip because it seems like an indie movie where it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta go to Lake George for the summer. I gotta work and pay this and that, and
Yeah.
you're like the perfect lead for that, like the
Oh,
the,
man.
the handsome
Yeah.
dude who's got all the stuff going and
Yeah.
he's gotta like
Making
run
the
this.
shop work.
Yo,
thing.
you bought me down to
Then-
Bollywood level. That's how I invite you
No,
to the
not
Cali.
down, not down.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood,
Disney.
okay.
Indie Hollywood film.
Indie. Oh,
Yeah.
that's an Indian. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, not Indian.
Yeah,
Indie.
indie.
Dude, it really is. Honestly, I think about it a lot. I'm like, dude. Later down the road, if I ever get into like filmmaking and all that, I'm about to make like a whole like movie on what just our life is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, what did you? I have a particular like interest simply because my family's in the restaurant industry. But like, who did you turn to when you were like, I want this and I want this? How do I make it happen? Like, did you just spend a lot? Like, what did you do?
As far as like layout and systematically getting the restaurant set, I basically I mean, again, my dad. I love my dad, but there's a lot of things that I didn't agree with my dad as far as he ran the business, and I just did the things that I felt that were right. I felt, you
Yeah.
know, like I worked a lot of jobs, and I've been in the back of other kitchens too, so I just mimicked. And
So you could see like where they failed, or maybe they didn't do
Yeah.
as well,
Yep.
and then you're like, oh. let
I
me
mean,
take this part.
still to this day, you know what I mean? My dad has recently changed his systematic works in the kitchen only because he sees that I
Yeah.
can pull it off.
It works.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it works.
Yeah.
Well, like, what about like ingredients and stuff too? Because did you see? You're saying that there wasn't a lot of South Asian businesses around. This model didn't exist for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's all like trials and error, to be honest. Especially the chai bar stuff. That's all me staying there hella late at night and just wrecking like 30 cups of chai and not having it be good, and then that one cup turned out to be great, and then you note that process of like, how the hell did I make that?
Yeah.
And then that just becomes a staple. Like that goes on the board. That's our thing now. You know what I mean? And you're also put in positions where you don't have any other option other than to figure it out. You know what I mean? If it hasn't been done, doesn't mean it can't be. You know what I mean?
And with like your menus and stuff like that, there is a mixture of kind of like people who are more used to Western standards that can really adapt and understand and enjoy
Yeah.
your type of food.
Like
So-
they don't understand karak chai and like
Yeah.
all that stuff, but you make it easy. Like
Yeah.
the menu is like really
Dude,
cool.
that's one thing that my dad gave me the advice on. He was like, he didn't want me to name it Alif when I first named it. He's like, who's gonna recognize Alif? Who's gonna know
keep it
what
more
that is?
generic and
Yeah.
appealing.
And
yeah.
he goes like, dude, I was like, Dad, like, I remember the day we were about to sign off on the legal papers, so that legally is your name now, right?
Yeah.
So like, my dad was like, till the day I had to send it in, he goes like, dude, just change it, bro. Like, what are you doing, man? Yeah,
Why'd you
got it.
decide on Alif?
Yeah.
I love Alif, man. I think that the Alif gave me a brand rather than just a name. You know what I mean? I think
But
it has.
how'd you come across the letter Aleph?
Come across it.
dude,
Well, I was doing a sabak with
no,
my
but like,
Chaiguyy Saud.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna be like, oh, let me name it a cafe.
Like when you were
Like
deciding
why?
the
Like
name.
what was the importance to
dude,
you?
it's religious. The religious meaning behind it, plus that it's. I just love the meaning of Alif in general, and I've always stood by it. Like I always like, all right, like. For us, it's new beginnings. Like it starts somewhere, and again, dude, you guys have Alif Theory, and we connect on that level. You know what I mean? Like you got to start somewhere, and now and here. You know what I mean? We were just talking about that yesterday too. But it really is just that new beginning, and doing something that for me hasn't been done, and that word in general will catch the eye of people that know what it means. You know what I mean? When you walk down the road, I don't want to have like a hard name in Urdu that is hard to pronounce, like dude, I don't even know what to come up with.
Lahori
that.
Cafe or something. I
Dude,
don't
like
know.
Daba or something like
Daba.
that, bro. Like it's not like that's bad, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying that it's I'm not trying to sell my culture.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to sell like the experience of like what it is like to be a Pakistani American, raised here, and all the good and bad things that come with it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's so
beautiful.
important that you say
Yeah.
to be a Pakistani American and not just Pakistani.
Yeah.
Because that is your experience.
Yeah.
And that's exactly like, the things that we have come to understand as well and really go down.
Yeah, dude, I don't think you should shy away from calling yourself an American. I think that there's a different meaning to being an American, It's not just like, you know, my granddad came here and he grew up here. It's like, it's really just,
Fought in the war.
dude, yeah, it's really your experience, and that is something that no one can take away from you. And if you spent your years here, you grew up here, your youth was here, blah blah blah, you're an American.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and just being happy about it, being proud of it. There's so
Yeah.
many beauties to it, rather than like what, you know, other people have kind of like made an idea of singling out and discriminating against. And like, if your experience is a beautiful thing and you love this country, then you should be just as proud.
100%. Dude, and also like it goes back and forth. Like you could, you know, really figure out like the bad things, you know, that are in this society, and then the bad things are on the other side. You know what I mean? Like in Pakistan, like you could sit there and like really see it. And you can't really see it if you're all centered in one area and just like, oh, I'm just American, or I'm just Pakistani. You know what I mean?
I want to ask you, because like when you came over our place the other day, you were very supportive of us wanting to collaborate with you. And you had said that, you know, whenever there's like Pakistanis doing great things and representing our country in this way, like you want to help and support that project.
Yep.
Where did your love from your roots, for your roots come from? Like, why are you so proud to be Pakistani?
Dude, it's I was about to get emotional. So no, it's really just my granddad. Really, my granddad kind of, you know, our grandparents come from an area where they're the first generation Pakistanis, or they're the ones that built it.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
from the split.
From
you're
the
saying.
split, yeah. And my granddad fought in wars. He has a like such big love for his country.
Dude, you can relate to the Americans that say that then.
Yeah, I know, I could, and
My
that's
grandfather too.
yeah. But the thing is, my grandfather also fought against like things that he didn't see that were right in the country. You know what I mean? His whole life, like he.
So he
fought-
wasn't a chef.
No, he wasn't. I wish. No, but he did whip up some good chai, bro.
Okay,
I
that's
remember every morning he used to wake us up for school, right? So, we went to school that isn't existent anymore, I heard, but it's called Roots Montessori, and it's a private school.
Is that in Barrytown?
I don't know. I was too little to remember where it was, but
Yeah, that's in
Roots Montessori. I don't think it's a thing anymore, but it was my school in Pakistan, and he was a military man, so he woke up at 5 a.m. on the dot, and so like that's when his day started. He basically used to get us up. He's the one that taught me how to tie my shoes and like go to the kitchen, make chai for my grandma and him, and make like the savanya.
Yeah.
Dude, savanya in the morning. You know what I mean? Just to
We
get me
say
ready.
savia.
Savia, yeah, savia.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was one of those things where like I learned everything from him, and I recently got to see him. He came by I think a year prior to COVID, and he was 92, 91 at the time, and so like he had a whole thing with dementia, so he was kind of late in the stage of it. So there was a lot of things that he couldn't remember, and he was just in the moment with you. You know what I mean? But you still had great conversations, and but prior to that, like he would be so proud if he saw that stuff. Like you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's just to pay homage to my grandfather. The only thing I can do is continue his legacy into representing the culture that I'm from, because I'm not ashamed of it at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's good and bad things in any society, any culture, and you can't shy away from who you are.
No, that's beautiful. Just, I think a lot of people, just remember something from their childhood and these fond memories, and continuing on to that feeling and that legacy of like, yeah, like that was a great time, and these are special people, and this is where I'm from.
Yeah.
Just recognizing that, I think like, that's beautiful that you're able to then basically like pass the torch and give other people great memories and connections.
It's
in loving memory.
Dude,
of your
it's
grandfather.
and it's one thing that I saw that it was missing, that in I guess America, I don't know about Pakistan, but there's a lack of like unity in our community. Like we don't have a great, strong, tight community like that. Like we don't. I don't know. Maybe it's because in the area I'm in, I don't see it a lot. But there are patches in America that I've kind of felt the vibe that everyone's nice to each other. But it's like, I have family friends that are like Turkish and stuff, and Bosnians and all that.
Yeah.
Dude, when someone comes from like Bosnia or Turkey, they take them in. They literally take them in. Like not like because they have to. They want to. They get them set up. They get them a house. When you come here, like I don't know,
You don't feel like that happens with
Dude,
Pakistanis? Or where
some
you're from in
Pakistanis,
Pakistan?
dude, some Pakistani here can't even get their brothers and sisters to do that for them. Like, you know what I mean? It's rough out here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a mix of experiences.
Yeah.
I think there's some people that definitely assimilate and want to help themselves before they try to help others. And then there are still people like yourself who carry on something that is very prominent in our culture, which is hospitality.
Yeah.
I think
Huge.
that's among anything. Like, if you go to meet another person who shares that cultural background with you, that's one of the first things that they will get offended if they do not take care of you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know,
and that's back home too. Like, there's
well,
families.
especially back home.
Yeah, there's families there that do that. Again, it's probably just because of the region I'm in. I haven't seen it a lot, but like, it's one of those things where hospitality was a huge thing back home. You know what I mean? You go to someone's
Yeah.
house and either you don't bring anything, or
I think it's like built into
Yeah.
our culture.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to take care of people, and that's one thing that I kind of missed out here. So I wanted to bring that back. I was like, dude, I don't care like where you're from. Like, if you're Pakistani, you don't have to be Muslim. You don't have to be. You know, you can be of any type of Pakistani, but you are Pakistani.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you.
That's
Don't worry.
awesome.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think the disconnect sometimes is that we were just talking about this the other day, where when our families come from Pakistan, they're visiting. It's really hard for us living in America to stop everything we're doing because in this country we're basically like, you're always working, you always have something that you're supposed to be doing. When you go over there, a lot of times like everyone like they'll stop what they're doing.
Yeah, they could stop
to
their
cater
work.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because that's like the kind of norm and the standard and understanding that people have amongst each other.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of like disconnect is, it's awkward because it's like, ah, man, like you want to provide so much. And, you know, then I think the people that grow up here as Pakistani Americans, they don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
Do I, you know, pay for other people's meals?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I
Yeah.
bring them into my house? Or is it like a known thing that, okay, in America, we don't operate this way?
Yeah, yeah.
It's also sorry.
No, go ahead, yeah.
Like I think that sometimes the situations that we've seen, especially as we get older, we see our families take care of them too. You're like, am I well off enough to do this or whatever? But the reality is that whether you're well off or not, you're always taking care of someone.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
you have $2, you're going to give the $2 to the person who needs it.
I mean, it all comes down to the person too. I think if you're just like that human being that just genuinely feels joy taking care of someone, and you know, again, it's a little too money oriented, this society. I feel like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Of course.
And it's becoming one of those things where like, oh, like, you know, even here I've seen a lot of people like, you know, not worry about taking care of their parents and just living their life right now and doing their thing. But for me, it's not about like the money, whatever I make. It's literally just taking care of my family
Yeah.
and whoever I can take care of. You know, like it's one of those things where, you know, my grandfather was like that. You know, dude, if you came and you're like a guest, you're a guest. You don't touch anything.
Yeah.
You sit and we like, you know, massage your shoulders for you if you want. You know what I mean? And that's one big thing, man. And he was huge on that. Like dressing clean. If he saw me wearing ripped pants right now, he would roast me.
Right.
But no, he would be like, you know, iron press shalwar kameez with a waistcoat
Yeah.
on, pakol on top. You know what I mean?
Composed.
That man was like one of those staples for me to like
Yeah.
be that standard.
Speaking of discipline too, I know earlier on you did Taekwondo.
Yep.
And we talked about how, you know, those martial arts and those kind of sports really, you know,
Form.
form discipline within maybe you, your lifestyle, your work.
Yep.
Have you seen that a lot?
Dude, I have, and that all stems from my master, Master Young. He is the reason why I have such a hard work ethic, and I do it. And my mentality is everything I do, it has to be at the top level. Like I can't, you know, I can't lie to people about things. I can't try to be scheming people around here just because I'm at the in a position where I could. You know what I mean? There's a lot of restaurants that I specifically know that will tell you, hey, like we have authentic food and this and that, but they're doing the same stuff back where like you know. They're high end, but they're looking at like Sean masalas and frozen
Yeah.
samosas and stuff like that.
Pre-made things,
Yeah,
frozen
like-
things.
And trying to increase their profits.
Just
by-
and because it's numbers to them, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? For me, it's not like that. It's because of Mashion, dude. He has instilled in me a thing where like you don't do it the best, don't even touch it, don't even do it. And if you don't have the discipline to, you know, sacrifice, I guess, your leisure time and really focus on what's important, then you shouldn't be doing it regardless. So it came from that, because I spent a lot of years in martial arts, man. That was my first love, like, of what I wanted to do in life. I wanted to be a fight choreographer, so that was why
for like movies and stuff.
Oh yeah. So I had a little bit of experience doing it down in the city, but like I've really liked doing it, and I still do. It's not like it's dead, you know.
Yeah, we see you beating up the bag here and there.
Yeah, dude,
doing
on
your
TikTok,
shifts.
man. Yeah.
Next thing you know, there's a dojo in the back. Like,
Dead ass. That's what it is. I'm not even kidding, dude. There's a beautiful family that owns the karate studio back there, and shout out to Chris, my guy. So he comes in with his daughters and his family and gets ice cream, and I was just talking about like doing Taekwondo. I'm like, dude, do you mind if I just use your studio? Dude, he gave me the keys, and he was like, here, just come through anytime. And so
So
I go,
sweet.
literally, I close the cafe down, do my cleanup. If I have to make TikTok, I go make TikTok, and then I'm in the studio at like 5 a.m. in the morning, just bagging it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's how he gets the meat and everything prepared in the back.
100%. It's so tender.
hangs it up.
The beef
Yeah.
kebab is so tender. It's because of that. Yeah.
Fruit ninja, like,
Jeez,
doing
yeah.
his thing back there.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah.
Yeah, like that discipline, that honor, all of that stuff. It's
Yeah.
so important. We talk about this all the time about like, how those things are forever life lessons in anything that you do.
I think
And,
when you start at a very young age, that's a very good thing to like get into you, because then it doesn't matter what you do. You know, if you have that like mentality since you're a teenager, then it really doesn't matter if you go to college, you don't go to college. That just mentality will make your life.
Yeah.
And that's very important for. I would recommend doing martial arts, any type of martial arts, to any kid, and especially if they have a great mentor, then better
Yeah.
for it.
And with the honor, you speak about your family's honor a lot, and why it's important for you to take care of your family, all of that. You started off at the Alif Cafe in the Lake George area, and then now we have this beautiful
Yes.
place that we're sitting in right now. That is another extension of that. That is year round, right?
Yes, year round. Yeah, this baby's year round. She's gonna be basically the headquarters of the whole operation. This is a huge space, and we wanted to do something big like this for us to train, so we can bring it down to the city. I know a lot of people want us to go to the city. My goal later down in life, I don't know if it's gonna happen when I'm in my 20s or not, but I want to get a Michelin star. I don't think there's a chef that is Pakistani that's done it. There's a lot of Indian restaurants that have it, but there's no Pakistani restaurant. I think there's one in China, but not in the States.
That's incredible.
No,
So like,
Yeah,
That
that has a
has
Michelin
Michelin
star. It's like a basically like the standard of reviewing of restaurants.
Wow.
So you could get like one. If you get one, you have to uphold it. So if you get the star, it could be taken away. So if you don't uphold that standard, the next year we just had a reviewer come in from one of the news outlets here and give us a good review. But imagine, great, I get the star, but you have to uphold that every single year. And then
and she was hidden too, right? When she wrote the review, you had no idea.
Dude, alhamdulillah. I've heard that she's a very tough critic too. So for her to come through and like actually not just one location, she went to both locations and took pictures and things. And they don't like tell you like, hey, we're here to review.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like
Secret.
no, like all those movies where it's just like the snobby like critic who's
Yeah,
coming
the
in,
food critic.
and the poor chef in the back. Oh,
Yeah,
everyone like
all the
"Yo, go
employees
do this
know. They're
perfect."
like, oh my god, the reviewer's here.
Yeah, it's like Ratatouille.
Yeah,
like all those
we got a
movies.
picture of him in the back now.
Yeah. Dude, those are the best movies. We're gonna make your movie when
Inshallah.
you
We got like a
Michelin star,
Desi
inshallah.
animated Ratatouille.
Action.
But
packed
I
too.
mean, I kind of feel like that speaks to your authenticity too. It's not like you only made a specific good meal just for her. Like it was good all around. And something that I really noticed yesterday while we were filming was that you have these masala fries.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, where do you get this masala for your fries? Because this is the best masala fries I've ever had.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that one of the ingredients in it, you had to like go seeking for it.
Yeah.
And that like you personally buy the seasons, grind them, mix the masalas up, and then like basically you are Shan Masala, mixing up your own mixture.
I've made
Masala.
my own Saud masala, dude. That's what we're gonna
Like you care about like the details of the
dude.
taste.
Listen, it's I think as a chef, it's a characteristics thing. I appreciate when food isn't the same. I appreciate if I go to a Desi restaurant, one chef's food is not the same as the other chef. I really look forward to that. And it's because like, dude, we're not perfect. You know what I mean?
Well, also like, what's your style? Like, what are you doing to it? Or like,
Yeah, dude, it's characteristics too. Like, what spices that I taste and it feels good to me, and what I think that tastes good may not be something that another chef thinks. Maybe he thinks better, whatever it is. But like, it's the imperfection in food that I look for. I think people you think that chefs need to have a plate looking super perfect,
Yeah.
needs to be 2 centimeters from that thing. I think that there's a
The leaf.
there's a
a little swizzle of
yeah, a little gold
little
flake or
drizzle.
something.
Yeah.
Dude,
little yellow sauce.
Literally, dude. I don't think there's for me, that's not my thing. I think imperfection is my thing. I think.
I mentioned earlier that you have a Pakistani flag hanging in both restaurants.
Yep.
Again, it was mentioned that the coffee beans that you use here were sourced from Pakistan.
So they're sourced from South Asia. I think
How do you go
that
from Pakistan to Pakistan?
Pakistan?
You say the Pakistan flag and you go source from Pakistan?
Did I switch it?
Yeah.
Can we switch the language?
I have no idea what.
Pakistani Americans, everybody.
Pakistan. It's all
Yeah,
right.
there we go.
So
Coffee
it
beans
does.
from Pakistan?
Yeah.
yeah,
so
so-
you have what is this?
So
Like,
it's
and
called.
how'd you find it?
So it's called Monsoon Malabar. There's 2 types that you can get. They're off the coast of Malabar, so 90% of what you're gonna find is Indian.
Okay.
But we have found a source that distributes them from Pakistan.
Wow.
So they're they're
grown?
grown in India,
Yeah,
but they're roasted and dried in Pakistan.
Okay.
Nice.
So there's a different in climate, and I think that the ones we get, I don't think there's a huge difference because I had both and I tried both. So it's not like it's a huge characteristic difference,
Yeah.
but it's just like the fact that we have Pakistani coffee in a sense.
And is that why you went for it? You're like,
Yeah. I mean, if it was a huge difference, and if the Pakistani coffee wasn't as good, I wouldn't have taken it. I would have just said it's Indian.
But
Yeah.
like a lot of people would be like, okay, let me just like go to the like U.S.
Amazon-
Foods
Whole
truck,
Foods.
whatever they
Yeah.
have.
No,
Drop
No, that's
off
not
some
as badass
coffee
as
beans.
this, dude.
Yeah.
Chefs
This
are so
is-
badass.
This is like
I have to
what was
travel
the
to
process
Pakistan
of
to
like
get this bean.
Yeah,
what was
dude.
the process of finding it? Like, how do you research
Dude,
and find
like Willy Wonka.
Pakistani
Yeah.
coffee beans?
You
Like
know,
that's
the cocoa beans?
authentic.
Dude, we just go out and do our best to find a different vendor every time, and if that vendor has connections to another person, that's the best thing. We have random people calling us now at the cafe and just be like, hey, dude, we hand pick mushrooms from the area around here. Would you like some? And I'm like, oh, okay, bring it by. We'll see. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we test different produce from this area.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and things like
Yeah.
that, just because we want to keep it fresh for this area. I mean, I don't know, and again, this resonates to food in Pakistan, bro. Like, you go down in the street food's huge for me, because that's like the origin of all restaurants. You know what I mean? Street food, and you go down there and they don't have like a guy that sells I don't know, tomatoes or vegetables on the side that's going to a Cisco and grabbing potatoes and tomatoes and putting them on a cart and just alu lelo or something like that. You know what I mean? He's getting it from a farm, maybe from his village, 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's clean or not, again, it's all about imperfection for me. I appreciate that. So that's where it all stems from. Like that's a great thing that connects me back home, is having local produce. Because that's how we do it. I think the best meals are made when you have local produce.
That's so fire because you're still paying homage to your culture, but then also helping out your own local community in that way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's one of those things where a really amazing kitchen. That's what they practice, local ingredients, non-processed, and if you make your spices, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love the chefery, bro. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Also, you being the chef at these places, you work with your siblings.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
your brother and sister.
Yeah.
We met them. They're awesome people.
Yep.
Yes.
And I want to know, all siblings go back and forth, battle it out, all that at home, right?
Yeah.
But then they got to come in.
Yeah.
And now Saud is the boss.
Yeah.
What's that dynamic like?
Dude, it's not a dynamic, man. I told you I get roasted around my family all the time. It doesn't matter where it is. You know what I mean?
Oh, so
It's-
no matter how big you make it, it's just like, yo, shut up, bro.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. I mean, no, they're sweethearts, man. My sister is the biggest sweetheart you'll ever meet.
Yes, she literally just gifted you
Yeah.
a new set of
Which-
cut boards,
yeah,
right?
oh, yeah.
Yesterday, because she
It's,
wanted to use them for the video.
personalized.
and she
Yeah.
ruined her surprise just to make sure it worked for the video.
I know.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where she's just a sweetheart. I got to keep that in mind too. My siblings are my siblings. At the end of the day, I'm not going to treat them like my staff. My heart just doesn't do it. You know what I mean? It's perfect example. We have a list in the back of the kitchen that has every employee's, or I shouldn't say employees. We don't say employees here, but every team member's like tasked for the day. So let's say if I needed, the mopping done by night, I assign it to a specific person, and I equal out it's like chores.
Let me
basically.
guess. Your little brother gets something like that, and you're like, no. I'll do it for you.
Literally, I came back. I came
Not
back
my
to
baby brother.
Not the bathroom.
dude. He had all the tables up, and he was doing the mopping. He got to here, like from the door to here, where we're sitting.
Yeah.
And I took it from him. I'm like, dude, just go somewhere else. I'm like, I can't watch you do this, man. I'm sorry.
That is such a brotherly thing.
Yeah.
That's such like a just a family thing in general. I know that like any odd jobs like my siblings and I have worked, it would kill my parents that like you have to clean the bathrooms, you have to do this and that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have that same instinct.
Dude, I don't know. I just can't. I try to treat them like actual team members. But I can't. My heart won't let me do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I'm also like in a position right now that my sister's older than me by a year, and also 6 years younger than me. And so I'm not technically the oldest, but like I am looked at as the oldest sibling.
like the oldest like man of the house type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, it's not really a thing where I'm like, oh, I'm the man of the house. They just like treat me like that for some reason, because like I guess for them it's like, oh, he has this stuff figured out. We can rely on him for good advice and stuff.
Yeah.
Which
It's responsibility.
and
as well.
which goes both ways. I mean, I go to my sister for advice. I go to
Yeah,
us
yeah.
for advice for stuff. But right now, one big thing for me is to teach them financial stability. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
I
Yeah.
talked to my sister about this recently. Like, she doesn't know anything too much about credit. She doesn't know anything about that stuff. And I'm like, yo, listen, this is how you get your start. You need to start it this way. Go get this done. And one thing for me is, whether we have ups and downs in our relationship, I just want them in wherever they are in life, I just want them to be safe financially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they don't have to worry
Yeah.
about anything as far as like money, because it's a big deal sometimes.
That's financial responsibility. How about social responsibility? You're a nice big up and coming TikTok star over here. But that's how we found you.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people following you online. Like, what do you make of that part of your life versus like, doing the restaurant stuff?
Yeah,
Some people see it as like, there's a lot of gimmicky people out there. It's
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yep.
is this dude really like a chef or whatever?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm still getting used to it, to be honest. I'm probably never going to get used to it at this rate, but people come from all over the place, man. And it's one of those things where it's different. I feel like not a lot of TikTokers that have this outlet where people can literally just come up to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And you have like a physical place. Like literally
Yeah.
yesterday at 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
there's people walking through the door and they
Yeah.
open it. They're like, oh, is this from TikTok?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, that's insane.
Yeah,
At
dude.
2
Oh, that's so
a.m.
funny.
Yeah.
Dude, it was hilarious, and it happens quite a bit now. And I have stopped posting a lot because of the work that I've been doing this summer. Just it's been hectic, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
guys see my schedule these days.
Yeah.
Well, I love that it's work first.
Yeah.
Dude, if work wasn't here, then TikTok would never be here.
Even
Yeah.
when we were here waiting for you to come by, what I really respect about you is that you wanted to take care of your customers before doing this for yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
And like that just says everything that needs
my
to. So.
my guests that come through and want to try our food are above anything else. Again, they're guests.
Yeah.
And with the hospitality
Yeah.
of Pakistan, you know what I
Wow.
mean? That's what it circles back to is them before everybody else. And if they're not here, then we aren't. You know what I mean? So it's a respect thing. And I don't put myself. I think my mentality is I put myself last. I take care of my family first. I take care of the people that I love the most first, and then if there's a little bit of Saud left to
Yeah.
take care of Saud, he does it. You
So
know what I
how,
mean?
how do you balance that with making the TikToks and working?
Dude, right now the balance is bad. So I haven't been posting a lot because it has been such a rough work schedule for me that. Dude, I have nihari. Like, I really want to make nihari for the next video. Well, little teaser. I'm trying to make nihari for the next video, bro. It takes 6 hours, right?
Wow.
Like a proper nihari takes 6 hours
like
without
slow.
chan masala and all that.
Slowly cooking it and all that.
Dude, where the hell am I gonna find time? 6 hours.
A crock pot.
Crock pot. Are you trying to get me canceled, my girl? Dude, you know how many hate comments I'm gonna get underneath the
Oh my
comment, bro?
gosh.
I mean,
So, like, do you enjoy making the content, but like, do you do it as making content or as a marketing thing?
It came as a marketing thing. I'll be honest. It wasn't a thing where I had a personal TikTok before all this. Wasn't doing too hot. I still have it. It's like a different account. It's like private, but like it wasn't doing hot at all. It was just a bunch of videos of me and my granddad. It was a little,
Aw.
and
That's so
I thought it was
cute.
gonna be like you like shirtless in the
F-boy,
mirror.
like, yeah.
Taekwondo.
yeah, dude, no. It was literally just like going on road trips and like doing those like
That's
cute
so
little.
sweet. Wait, this reminds me of. Have you seen Chef?
No,
Oh, you gotta watch Chef.
wait, the movie with the dude that directed Iron Man.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I've seen like the first intro of it, but I haven't really seen.
It's
the
like
whole movie.
your TikToks are a combination of what he did, which is he would make genuine, authentic moments with his father, who has a food truck.
Yeah.
And it supplied marketing for the food truck. People came and wanted to eat at that.
Yeah.
And so like that's a genuine, like you don't, like you were saying, you know, I'm not gonna lie about it, but like that's, I think people find beauty in that. Like
Yeah.
Dude,
nobody would have a problem
listen,
with that.
The thing is, yeah, it was meant for marketing, to be honest, but it was only because I love doing it. The only
Yeah.
reason why I named myself Chai Guy because I knew I was gonna make chai every day.
Well, it's not like we're like, oh, I have this clout, let me make a cafe, which wouldn't be bad. But you've had this cafe, it's been running,
Yep.
you care about the business. It was way before TikTok ever came around.
Yep.
You're like, let me share and showcase what we do here.
Dude, I still remember the day I posted this like I think it was almond milk masala chai. It was iced or something, and I just did I did an intro to it, and I was like, dude, how would a TikToker do this? Like, how would like a person?
Yeah.
I was just going down the list of like, okay, that's how like they do start dances and stuff, and so I just like came in with like the double peace sign hit, and then the
Famous
music,
peace signs now.
yeah, and then the Punjabi music started, bro, and then I started doing the whole process of making it, and literally like it was like. The first 10,000, you're like, whoa, like
Yeah.
10,000 people, bro, what?
Yeah.
And then he goes, so like 30, and you're like, what? The next morning you wake up, it's like literally 100,000, and you're like, Mom, look, it's 100,000 people watching the video. And your mom's like, oh, I'm hyping it up with John. You know what I mean?
That's so
You know what I mean?
cool.
So,
What do your parents, think of everything and where you're at now? And especially, you mentioned that like your family like struggled like many immigrants coming up. Like, where are you guys at now as far as
my
like
parents
being
are
proud of you?
so proud of what I got going on.
That's
it's
awesome.
it's,
That's
it's
awesome.
incredible, and it's good to have an amazing support system like that. Like my mom really didn't want me to go in the restaurant business because she's seen my dad work through it.
Sure.
So it's one of those things where she was like, all right, that's not my son. He's not going to do it. And I was into Taekwondo anyway, so she was like, yeah, just go do something else. Don't come here. And then when I ever showed display of like interest in anything food related, she'd be like, okay, but don't do restaurant stuff. And even now when she sees me running around, dude, I leave my house and in the morning when mom's asleep, I don't come back until she's asleep.
Wow.
So I don't get to see her a lot.
Aw.
And like there's some times I try to spend with her. Like recently, I know I take a couple of days off just to spend with my family and whatever. But my dad and my mom are just at this age where I want them to retire and I want them to know that I got the fam. Don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
Just go
Yeah.
do your thing. You know what I mean? So whether that happens at all, because my dad's a workaholic. So I don't know, but maybe trying to see if I can get him to take like a month off at least. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just like take the family out after the season's over. And I told my staff, my team here that, when October comes and we have to close the place down, I'm gone for a month. I'm like, y'all can handle it. All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of my family because we went through hell this year. And we are still. The season's not over yet, but it's like the lack of help and labor in all restaurant and I mean anywhere is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nobody wants to work and
Yeah, and everybody wants to eat, dude. Like
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
wants to go out,
True.
and that's great. Like alhamdulillah, the business is amazing, but the restaurant business is hard. It
Yes.
takes a physical
Yes.
toll on you.
Yes.
yeah, a lot of people say, like they'll hire people only if they've had experience in the restaurant business just
Yeah.
because of like that sort of like that hustle that you have to have.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
sometimes you like don't want your family to be involved in things. But witnessing what my dad has had for the last 30-some years, you're like, there always has to be a family member involved. You're like, okay, I could just have everything running and, we can all take a step away. We'll have the employees running. No. Like you have to have a family member involved. Otherwise, nobody's going to have the passion and care for what you've curated like you and your family will.
Well, I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I think that when you find passionate people and you're part of a big like movement and you've made a really big deal out of it, and my team knows that. My
Yeah.
team sees the effect on, like, they've seen TikTokers, people come in like, hey, Chai Guy here. They know what's going on, even
Yeah.
though they don't know the Chai culture, they don't know Desi culture because they're all Gore here. But like, they know what's going on, and they are
So you're saying
I
that
wouldn't- I
somebody
wouldn't
who's
say-
not family could run the entire place?
If I step away right now, 100%. Right now, this place, yeah. If I
That's
get
amazing.
if I get two more outsiders, my one of my sous chefs here, he could run the place if I let him.
Solid.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because it's all about the passion, man. You think you're the only one that has the passion? You know what I mean? You're not. There's people there. You just have to find them, nurture them, and show them the way. And you really care for them. That's one thing about us. Again, I don't say employees, or I try not to, in a general sense, because my staff, quote unquote, here is literally like my team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my team, I treat them like my siblings at times. You know what I mean? Of course, I make them up. You know what I mean? That's fine with me. That's fine with me, you know, but
Savage.
No, I'm joking. No, they know their gig, but it's one of those things where they all respect the process and the things that I've built around, and they know that there's a standard to everything. And if that standard you don't understand, that I'm sorry, you're just not a good fit for this place. You know what I mean? That's just that standard. You don't need to know anything about chai. You don't need to know anything about our food. But if you have, and that's one thing with Mashiana I learned. That's one of his teachings, that you can't do the highest kicks. You can't jump the highest. You can't do all these board breakings or sparring, whatever. It does not matter. You have the heart for it, we'll teach you.
As long as you show up every day and keep
That's
going.
it. That's all you want from a person. You know?
That's
Like
what's up, man. You're a leader. You're born for this, and you know you're doing it really well, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
I want to ask you one last thing as we wrap up here is what's next for you? Are you content with this? Is this you're living your dream, or are you still hungry for something more?
This is literally the scratch of the surface.
Wow.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Come on,
alhamdulillah,
man.
alhamdulillah. You know, I have a lot in my life at the moment, but over my life, I want to have reflections of my granddad, and I say that a lot because you know when I'm at his age, I want to look back and I'm like, I did it like him. And my next goal is to bring the culture. Like I told you guys, Michelin star. That's my next goal. And how am I going to prep for that? And that's not a joke. Like that's not one thing where I can just make a restaurant, get the money that's meant for investing, and go invest in a place and open. That's not it. I need to better myself, be consistent, know the food. So my thing is,
this is how franchises start too.
Dude, I've had a lot of people, especially
That's
through,
what I'm
especially
saying.
through TikTok, text me like, "Hey, is this a franchise? Can we buy into it?" And I'm like, "No."
You have a
Wow.
system
Yeah.
and you have ingredients down. You have things like this is how franchises begin.
Dude, I know, and there's actually a franchisee company going after me at the moment, but I'm okay right now. Like,
So you're against franchises?
I think that franchises. I'm not against.
You don't want a franchise, so you're
I-
against franchises.
I
Well,
think,
no, what's your thought? Because a lot of people have like, oh, it's a franchise, you lose quality.
Yep.
Is that your thought
100%,
process?
dude. Franchises become money oriented, not experience oriented. So
you can provide the experience on a mass level.
you could, but I'm okay with that. Again, it's not about money for me. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah, like, if I could do something else if it was about the money. I wouldn't be working this hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really just getting to a point where right now what I want to do is I want to take some time off and just go to Pakistan and just like maybe 3 months or something, and just like literally be in the streets and just
Like immerse yourself into it.
Dude, just learn. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Have a book, pen and paper, and just like sit there for hours, do it with the best Don guy in the street, and just go like learn his ways. You know what I mean?
These chefs, next level, bro. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
They're like artists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and dude,
It is, they are.
Dude,
Yeah,
I mean,
they
I
absolutely
want to
are.
do that on TikTok. Like, I want to take people with me. You know what
Wow,
I mean? So,
yes.
Yeah.
So like that'll be a great experience for me to do all this, and step away from the business here to better myself.
Yeah.
Because I could be content right now. There's a lot of people that tell me, you should be fine for the rest of your life now.
This is people's dream. Like
Yeah.
even the one shop.
Yeah.
You got this guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Alhamdulillah,
Mashallah,
dude.
that's awesome,
Alhamdulillah.
man.
Alhamdulillah. But there's so much more to do, man. There's no resting. You know what I mean? Not yet, at least.
Yeah, I mean, you got the energy for it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations on everything. Like, seriously,
Thank you.
it's amazing watching you. And, like,
Thank
being
you.
here, I didn't even expect to be
Yeah.
this wowed.
Yeah.
I was already from TikTok, but, like, everything, all the details, it's about that. And,
Yeah.
and your care to all of it, your passion behind it. Congratulations. And like, I feel
Thank
like
you,
we're
guys.
family. I'm, like, proud of
No,
you, bro.
we
Like,
Yeah.
we are
so
now.
inspiring.
Seriously, man. You guys came through, and I'm gonna scare y'all too. So I'm gonna get you back. You
Yo,
guys,
we didn't tell
We
them about
yeah,
it.
dude. You all
We-
scare the crap out of me, but I'm gonna get you back.
I mean, this is our first time meeting Saud, and we invited him to our scary Airbnb that we got for our music video. It houses 12 people, and it's in the middle of the woods,
And it's
in
just
a very
us
small
four.
town.
Yeah.
It's just us four. And Saud comes over, we're meeting him for the first time. I'm like, yo, my brother, what's good? Like,
Yeah.
all homie and stuff. And then I was like, oh, Amber and Shamir went to the grocery store real quick. They need to pick up a few, supplies or whatever. He's like, okay, no problem. I was like, bro, you gotta check out this house. It's mad scary.
Yeah, dude.
We take him around, and you tell the story from here. What happened?
So
Saud?
so we go around some of the areas, and he's just showing some empty bedrooms at this moment, and he's just telling me how creepy things look, and I'm like,
you were scared.
yo, I wasn't scared. Just
Did you agree that it was creepy?
It was creepy. Yeah, it was creepy.
I
Yeah.
heard like gulp. He was like gulping and like
you
drinking.
What was
stepped on
that?
a creek and you were like, oh my god, like what's
What was
that
that?
noise?
What was that?
He was also like recording me, so I thought it was weird. I was like, wait, maybe he just wants to get a reaction and stuff. So I didn't like,
These
Yeah, yeah.
YouTuber,
Well,
TikToker, vloggers.
dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I didn't know the lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you guys did this like recorded the whole time. So I'm like, I was alright with it. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, but then we go like he's like, yo, come upstairs. Like there's the rooms upstairs, and he was showing me this like little like which was actually weird.
It was actually scary.
It was like a little door
closet behind a dresser.
dresser, yeah.
And a
That you
door,
couldn't
and it was
access.
covered with
And it
the
has like a
dresser.
secret, I guess, storage compartment, storage or something.
We don't know if it's
Yeah.
storage.
It could be
Seriously.
Narnia. It could be Narnia.
Literally
Yeah.
could have been Narnia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like looking at that, which was actually pretty weird. And then he comes out and he goes like, yo, like the bathroom's even weirder, bro. I was like, bro, this place is dumb. I don't know why y'all got this. Anyway, so I go to the bathroom and like my biggest thing is I'm very like, I hit. If you scare me, I hit. You know what I mean? So like I was like, he puts a light on and I already thought the curtain being in
All the way
Completely
shut.
closed.
fully closed from the bathroom was a little weird.
And it's classic
Yeah.
horror movie.
Yeah.
So I was putting my fist in it, and then she came out at the right time and scared the crap out of me. And I
Yeah.
pulled back and everything. I'm like, dude, I'm done.
Amber almost got clocked.
Yeah.
I saw him fasten his black belt underneath.
No, dude, I was 2 seconds out the door. I was literally out the door, and then on top of that, how gullible I am. She's like talking to me, and we were like, trying to introduce, like, talk to each other and stuff like that, and like, nice to meet you, blah blah blah. But like, oh, this room's actually creepy. Oh yeah. Mohammed Saud over here was like, yeah, let me check this room out too. Goes in, and my guy over here pops out, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
second
And
round
you
of
had,
heart
you
attack.
had your fists up both times.
Yeah.
Both times.
Double scare
I
in
stay
like
ready.
a minute and a half.
I stay ready. Stay ready for that.
Dude, you were a great sport about it.
You
though.
like brought
No.
baklava over too. You're like, well, I'm
Yeah,
being
dude,
nice to these people.
Listen,
and-
I went to New Jersey to get you guys baklava, and you guys
Wait,
scared
really?
me. Yeah, I went down. Yeah,
That's
I was
crazy.
talking to Faras about that
Yeah,
like
he
before.
did.
I was like, dude, I'm going down to
He's a
Jersey.
sweetheart.
If y'all want anything, I got you.
That's
And
awesome.
I heard you guys had baklava on your line, so I was like, I got you. Like
Yeah.
real baklava.
No,
So-
that was awesome, and like I'm so glad we got to have this weekend. Hopefully that wasn't too much.
No,
to
dude.
scare.
Listen, it was so fun last night. We were actually talking about on the drive back. We haven't done anything like this in a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
And for us to just like as like kids hang out
Yeah.
and being introduced to you guys and how to see how your process works with filming, just talking about stuff.
Yeah.
It was a very fun time for us.
Wow.
We had to get
So
we had
good.
to get up. Who cares? We had to get up every single day to do this stuff anyways. You know what I mean? So it was one of those
Yeah.
things where we appreciated, alhamdulillah, we get to meet like such great people
Yeah.
from 6 hours away.
Yeah.
And the fact that we would drive up here meant the world for us. The littlest thing we can do is help them finish their project. You know what I mean? Or
That's
whatever they got
amazing.
going on.
No,
Yeah.
you guys are so sweet.
They were
for that,
so
you guys.
down.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were all here till almost 7 a.m. The
7
fact that you have people who work for you that would be like, yeah, I'm here,
Yeah.
ready to make the chai, pretend, teach,
Yeah.
all that stuff. They
Yeah.
were so cool.
Yeah.
They're family, bro. They're really just like they're the only ones I ever hang out with. They're like literally family.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and you guys are now too. So I wish you guys lived a little
Oh,
closer,
yeah.
but that would have
Yeah.
been
I
fine.
know.
I
But
mean-
Now you got to come to DMV.
Yeah.
inshallah,
It was
inshallah.
stay connected.
It was just cool
Inshallah.
that like we were both like kind of working on our own terms, but together. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
all working, and then we were working, so it was cool.
Yeah.
Combined worlds.
That was awesome. Yeah, look forward to that coming out, and just letting people see these worlds colliding. It's gonna be awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
inshallah, many, many, many more, man.
Inshallah.
Oh,
Seriously,
yeah,
inshallah.
inshallah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, and shout out your restaurants if they ever want to come visit?
So I have 2 cafes. I got Alif Cafe in Lake George. If y'all want to come check it out in Lake George, if you're ever going to visit, and in Glens Falls, same name, Alif Cafe. If you guys want to just keep up with us on Instagram, it's Alif Cafe NY, and I am Chaiguyy on TikTok.
With 2 Ys.
With 2 Ys,
For the
not
peace
one.
sign.
Yes, Ys. But yes,
The one was taken.
one was taken. That was true. To find that guy up.
Awesome. Go follow him. Please support him. He's beyond anything a great person, but also just a super professional, passionate person in what he does. So go
I
follow.
appreciate you guys. You guys are literally like family now, bro. So you guys come by anytime.
Oh.
We take care of you, man.
Thank
and
you.
I gotta come down to see
You're
you
the
guys
best.
anyway. So
Yes,
that's gonna happen.
100%.
And we're gonna keep in contact now. So that's gonna be one thing too.
So
Inshallah.
before you go, this is Strange Flavors, and we have one last very important question before you leave. Amber, take it away.
If you could describe yourself as any flavor, what would it be and why?
I'm sweet and spicy, man. You already know that.
I
Lord,
love
okay.
that.
Sweet and spicy,
okay,
man.
why?
Okay.
Because I'm sweet. That's how it is. My like respect for people and like me trying to go out for people just to accommodate them and this and that. Like that's something that my heart like loves to do. It's not just one thing. I just do it for the look of it. And then I'm spicy, man, because I'm doing my flair thing. I'm everywhere.
We saw a little Gordon Ramsay come out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
At the end, I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
not all ratatouille around here.
No. I go critique.
That's awesome, dude. Again, wish you the best of luck going forward. You're
Thank you, man.
amazing, and hopefully you continue to inspire other people.
Inshallah.
And you follow all the dreams that you have.
Inshallah.
If
Just
you
trying to do it
get
like you guys, man. Seriously.
Oh, come on.
You guys are
Oh,
OGs in the
stop.
game. You guys are
Stop
OGs in the
right
game,
now.
man. I'm trying to live up to
Stop
you guys.
it
That's
now.
all it is.
Okay, well, his birthday's coming up.
Wish him a happy birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations on all the success, and thank you for doing this with us.
Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
For everybody listening, it's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.